What's good? Dabble Fantasy officially has a podcast, episode 1 of Copy That Podcast. It's me, EJ from Dabble, and my co-host, none other than my guy, J-Raf. J-Raf, what's good, dude?
Man, I'm excited. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, this is a monumental moment in Dabble Fantasy U.S. history. First ever podcast. Let's get straight into it because we're in, preseason week 1 NFL is starting right now. And there are some spicy little takes that we have. Like Shedeur Sanders, 5th on the depth chart. Am I wrong? Is he 5th on the depth chart, but getting the nod to start in week 1 of the preseason? What's going on there?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the Browns are doing, and I want to believe that they have Shedeur's best interest in mind. But what I'm seeing right now is just not making sense because with the joint practice, you had Shedeur Sanders taking the same or the least amount of reps than Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett, which shouldn't happen at all because they're not supposed to even be playing on Friday. So, if you got a guy that's going to be playing on Friday, I think you got to give him the more reps. That's just my opinion. So I'm intrigued to see what your thoughts are on that because I still have a little bit more, but I want to get your feel on kind of how you feel about that situation.
Here are my thoughts, actually. So here's the deal. Tonight, so this will probably air, the games will be played by the time this airs. But so Joe Burrow is starting for the Bengals tonight. So he's starting preseason week 1. Joe Burrow is starting. Is Shedeur Sanders going to be the starter? Is that in the mind? Is that in the mind of the Browns? Like, are we going week 1 preseason? This is just who people are starting? Or is it like, oh, he's the 5th person on the depth chart. Let's just throw him out there and get him some playing time and see what he has. And, here's my true thought.
Yeah.
Ratings. Preseason, week 1.
Yeah.
What's the biggest story in the NFL? This draft, this offseason, it's the Browns, it's Shedeur Sanders, it's the 5th round pick, Shedeur Sanders. Preseason, week 1, who gets the nod? Shedeur Sanders probably will be the most viewed Cleveland Browns preseason game of all time. This is strictly a business move by the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, and honestly, I think you hit it on the head with that, and that's clearly what it seems like it is because Joe Burrow starting, like you mentioned, and it's preseason. Not saying it matters, but for guys that are trying to fight for a spot on the team, it matters. It's life or death at that point. But usually teams will start their starters. They might play a quarter, half a quarter. Joe Burrow might play 2 drives. So their starters play. But what was interesting with the Browns for me is Kevin Stefanski came out and said, we're resting our starters wide and large, which to me is diabolical, which I don't understand because you're going to throw Shedeur out there with the 2nd, 3rd string guys just to start, whereas the Panthers are going to come out with their starting defense. I just don't think it makes sense. I don't think it's fair. And like you mentioned, it probably is just ratings. And I don't want to hear the whole, he was a 5th round pick, this, that, the 3rd. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that because he should have been a 1st round pick. I understand he had his issues, off the field issues, whatever the case may be. But at the same time, like we're trying to sit here and act like Shedeur Sanders just is not a good quarterback. That's just where I just can't agree with that.
Dude, maybe this is actually, now that you said that, maybe this is actually just the ultimate test. Like,
yeah,
if he's going in, so the Browns said they're going to rest their starters. And if the Panthers are playing their defensive starters, even if it's for a drive or 2 drives, like you said, dude, you got Shedeur going into the fire with the 2nd stringers and 3rd stringers against the Panthers starting lineup. Dude, I'm not going to lie. I hope Shedeur balls out in the first drive and just and then makes it impossible for Kevin Stefanski to make a decision on who's starting going to be. Because it's either going to be Joe Flacco or it's going to be Shedeur Sanders, in my opinion.
Sure.
Like, you can't do Dylan Gabriel or Kenny Pickett. And then who knows what's going on with Deshaun Watson. I don't even think, I forgot he's on the team. I just remembered that he was on the team as we're talking right now. So it's just I think it's going to be a competition between Joe Flacco or Shedeur. And then, so say Joe Flacco wins the starting job. What happens if Joe Flacco goes 0-2? Are we getting into Shedeur starting territory? What do you think?
Nah, I don't. I think you let Joe Flacco rock out a little bit. You let Shedeur kind of sit behind him, learn, because again, it's still a big transition from playing at Colorado and playing in the NFL, the biggest
Yeah.
stage. I mean, now if the season gets away from you, like you might be what 2-6, 2-7. Then it's kind of like, you know what? Let's see Shedeur. Because clearly I don't know if they're playing to win this year. I can't tell because what they're doing is sure they're like I said is ridiculous. That's like me my freshman year in high school going into a geometry test. I sucked at geometry and I'm just not studying. Like I'm just like gonna go in there like yeah I'm gonna be fine. So just throwing him out there with the second and third string guys going against the starters again it seems like you're setting him up for failure. But like you mentioned, if he goes out and balls, they might have no choice but to really consider him as a starter in my opinion.
That's what I'm saying. And also, geometry freshman year of high school. Damn. Okay, Albert Einstein. I was in algebra. I was struggling. I might have been in pre-algebra freshman year.
Yeah, no, that was one of the worst classes of my life. But because one question I do have to ask you this, and honestly, everyone else they can give their opinion on this too. Can someone tell me is Tyler Show, the New Orleans Saints quarterback, is he better than Shedeur Sanders?
Dude.
That's just what I want to know. I'm pretty sure he went second round.
Dude, I think he did go second round. First of all, I don't think he's better than Jackson Dart. I don't think he's better than Dylan Gabriel. I didn't even know who he was. If you didn't say New Orleans Saints quarterback, I was like, I was gonna start sweating because I was like, who the hell is that guy? But then he had I think he had 2 knee surgeries as well. Isn't he like 26 or something?
Yeah.
Like, what a weird move by the Saints. But he's not better than Shedeur. Shedeur, I don't think Shedeur was the best quarterback, but he definitely was not a 5th-round quarterback. And I get that he has a lot of baggage, but I'm hoping he balls out. I'm hoping he balls out on Friday night, and I hope we look back. If this airs after he plays, I hope we look back and say, that's our boy. Good job.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Speaking of football, my mind is so my draft, my NFL draft or my fantasy draft just got updated. I just got a notification, just like the date and time got set, and that already just puts a little tingle in my tummy of excitement. Fantasy football season. Do you play fantasy football?
Yep. Unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
I haven't won in quite some time.
How long has it been since you've won a ship? That's the people need to know.
Man, I really hope no one judges me for this because they might not really want to hear my football takes after this. I'm pretty sure might have been my senior year in high school.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
so it's been some time.
I'm a few years removed from college.
Yeah.
So it's quite some time.
It's been some time. So I don't want to brag, but I've won it. I've been in the same league with all my boys for I think probably close to 16 years. So
wow.
we've been at it for a while. We've been at it since we were little boys. And I've won twice. I lost last year in the championship. I've won twice. Last time I won, I think might have been 2014. So it's been a while for me as well. Damn, that sounds terrible. Now that I said that, it feels like I won last year, but I lost in the championship last year. But since 2014,
that might have been the same year I won, honestly.
That's kind of messed up, actually, that I just said the year. We're going to have to cut that. I can't let you guys know that the last time I won was 2014. I feel like I'm a powerhouse. Damn, that just got me sad. Anyways, fantasy football right around the corner. Are there any? Everybody's got superstitions. I mean, you played college sports. I played high school sports, not a big deal. It doesn't, we're talking about sports superstitions. They have to transfer over to fantasy football superstitions. Do you have any?
I don't think I have anyone that's crazy. In college, I used to think wearing the same socks, it was good. As a former track runner, I used to I'm gonna wear the same socks. Da, da, da. I think I lost one race. I said, yeah, we're throwing that superstition out the window. For fantasy, I'd probably say I don't think it's crazy, but for obviously let's say the 1:00 games or 12:00 games, wherever you are at in the US, I can't open the app for the first 30 minutes.
Okay.
I just can't. I just can't because I feel like if I open the app, one of my players are either going to get hurt, they're either going to just do terrible. So for me, I just cannot open the app for the first 30 minutes.
Dude, that's how that's a great superstition. I am like that too. I'll check the player's stats on a different app, but I will
For sure.
never open the fantasy app to see what their fantasy score is.
Yeah.
That's a great superstition. I feel like 95% of the people out there feel the same way, because I do that.
Hmm.
I even do that with like my daily fantasy sports picks. Like if I won't check my picks until like I don't know the game is over, but I'll keep up
Yeah.
on the stats, so like I know if I'm gonna hit or not. But there's some superstition in our brains that are like, if we check the actual app itself, things will go terribly wrong.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
that's
That's usually how it goes in my
yeah,
head. So I'm like,
that's
you know what? I'm just not gonna look at it. And when I go check, if my receiver has 2 tutties for almost 200 yards, I'm so happy, you know. So I'm like,
exactly.
I rather save myself from checking it, and then my running back has 2 yards in the first half.
Yeah, Sundays are stressful enough. Now there's just, now we're all over the place with different
Yeah,
leagues, just your solo picks, your player
yeah.
projections.
Are you someone that you draft quarterbacks first round?
No, 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 no. I would say I don't want to give out any of my draft strategy, because in case my friends are watching, well, I have this
Yeah,
like joke around my fantasy league. Like I'm always just like, oh, like what do you think about this year? And they like tell me what they think, and then I won't say anything. I'll be like, oh, that's interesting. And they'll be like, what do you think? I'll be like, oh, why would I tell you? You're my enemy. You're my enemy
yeah.
till
Nah, you can't
January.
you can't give out the sauce. You
Yeah,
can't
but
do
I
that.
don't draft quarterback first round, unless like I would say like the only quarterbacks you should draft first round are like Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. It depends on your league too.
Sure.
Like so Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Jalen Hurts. Like any guys that, are gonna run for a ton, score rushing touchdowns, and pass for a ton. Those are the guys you go early with. But I'll tell you what, I do have a fantasy football superstition. It's more like a confession. This is a confession. And I believe all fantasy football players should do this. If you are a diehard of a team, this should be your strategy going on. So I'm a diehard Chicago Bears fan. I love the
Okay.
Bears. I love the Bears more than anything in this world. Their
Hmm.
their success or their failures literally drive 99% of my emotions from September to February. Maybe
That's
even all
fair.
year round. Like honestly, like every little thing, every tweet, like no matter what, like my emotions run on the Chicago Bears. But anyways, so if you're a fan like I am if you're a diehard fan like I am of a team, you should never pick a player in their division for your fantasy football team. And that's my
Really?
confession. I have never had an NFC North player outside of the Chicago Bears in 16 plus years of playing fantasy football. So no Justin
Really?
Jefferson, no Amon-Ra St. Brown, no Jameer Gibbs, no, like back in the day, no Aaron Rodgers, no Jordy Nelson, no Adrian Peterson. I can't do it. I can't do
Does
it to my boys. So
do you
it,
do you think that plays a factor into why you haven't won since
dude,
2014?
what are you first of all,
No, that's
don't
some
bring
pretty
that
good
up again. We
players.
got past
Some
that.
pretty good players
We
that you're
got
leaving
past that.
out.
We got past that moment. We moved on from 2014. We moved
That's
on.
fair.
Does it play a role in it? Maybe. Maybe Justin Jefferson would be nice to have. Maybe back in the day, the Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson combo would be nice to have in like
Yeah.
2014 or something like that. But listen, if I'm ride or die. That's if you if you're a diehard Dolphins fan, you're a Dolphins fan, right? Are you a Dolphins guy?
Yeah.
So if you're a
Yeah.
diehard Dolphins guy and your team is littered with AFC East players, traitor.
Uh,
Traitor.
I gotta. Stephon Diggs was on my team a lot while he was on the field.
Yeah,
So
there's
you know,
he might
he
be on
was
your
on
team
my
again
team
this
a
year.
lot. Yeah, he might. He might. But no, I feel that. I feel that. I get it. You gotta rock with your team. You gotta ride or die with them. So I feel that. It's just tough, man. If you have like the third or fourth pick and Justin Jefferson is still somehow there, but I feel you gotta rock out.
Dude,
You're a Bears fan.
now I'm going to sound so dumb. I'm going to sound so dumb, but like if like I think last year I had like the 6th pick, and it's a very like running backs go heavy in our league.
Hmm.
Um and I think I had the like no, I didn't have the 6th pick. I think I had the 7th pick. But anyways, I would go like Jonathan Taylor over Justin Jefferson just out of loyalty to the Chicago Bears. And It could be the dumbest thing you could ever do. Not this year. I wouldn't do it
That's
this
not
year.
bad. I don't think because Jonathan Taylor had a really good year at one point too. So I mean, I wouldn't say that's like a crazy one. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say it's like really crazy.
But
To
say
be
like I had
honest.
like the 12th pick or like even like whatever, like early, like late first round, early second round,
Mhm.
and like, Jahmyr Gibbs was there. I got to go somewhere else. I got to go with like Chase Brown or something.
Okay, that's
I'm telling you.
You're trolling. That's trolling.
Then we
Chase
build around that.
Brown?
But that's my big confession. And I think, you know what? I think a lot of people I think a lot of people will feel better at the end of the year about themselves with their heart, their passion,
Mhm.
their spirit, knowing that they're not a traitor and
Yeah.
rooting for, your division rivals to succeed.
Yeah, it is tough because I imagine when they play each other, your heart's gonna be torn because you're kind of like, well, I need Jay Jettis to get me a touchdown, but I don't want him to
Exactly.
score
You
a
play him
touchdown.
twice
So
a
I
year
get it.
too.
Okay,
You
yeah,
play
I
him
get that.
twice a year. I'm
Mhm.
not rooting for Justin Jefferson when my whole livelihood and, my emotion and my mental state depends on the Bears winning on Sunday.
I get that. I get that. That makes honestly thinking about it, that makes sense. You probably have a lot of people that honestly agree with you on that one.
Not much. I think my dad might. My dad might. Shout out to my dad. He's a true ride or die as well.
Hmm.
My friends in my league are like, you're a dumbass. And
Well, now it depends what's on the line if you win the league or they have fantasy football punishments.
yeah,
I just saw somebody they had to enlist in the military if they lost. So
that's
it
insane.
depends on what now if the punishment is something just out of this world. Man, I might have to bite the bullet on that one. I don't
Yeah,
know.
just don't come in last. Just draft solid. Don't draft
That's
bad.
fair.
Just draft solid. Don't come in last. But yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot on the line. There's like half marathons, $1,000+ to the first place. Like half marathon, if you get in last place and you run a half marathon, all you're doing is bettering yourself.
That is true. You're gonna be hurting, but that is true.
Yeah. You just got to take a couple ice baths the week after, but you'll be all right.
100%.
Yeah, so speaking of division rivals, and you got some division rivals in the AFC East. That got some. I'm thinking about it right now. J. Ref, real name's Josh. Blind ranking of greatest Josh athletes of all time. So I'm gonna give you 5
good one.
athletes: basketball, football, baseball, whatever. And you got to rank them 1 through 5, not knowing what comes next.
Okay, that's a good one.
So, the best 5 athletes named Josh in sports, could be retired, could be active still. You don't know what comes next. Blind rankings, best Josh athletes, starting out with Josh Gordon.
5.
Oh, dude, Josh Gordon was a beast.
Yeah, but we'll put Josh Gordon at 5. He had his little off the field issues. We'll just put him at 5.
Yeah, he had some issues, but he was a monster.
He was one of the best returners, honestly, in NFL history. I'd say for sure.
All right, next up, Josh Hart.
4.
Okay.
There has to be better Joshes. No offense to Josh Hart, but 4.
You don't like a guy who just like averages like 10 and 10?
Nah, for sure. I love the hustle, but I just feel like there has to be better Joshes. There just has to be.
Yeah. Okay. Josh Jacobs, running back for the Green Bay Packers, formerly of the Raiders.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 2. I'll go 2 with him. Yeah, I'll go 2.
Josh he's a beast. What?
Yeah, he had a great year.
Yeah,
this past year.
He did. And Alabama, right?
Yeah.
Was he a Bama boy? Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
He probably won a national championship at some point.
Yeah, and we know you're not gonna draft him. So
no, never. I will never. Yeah, unless he goes to
back to Las Vegas.
Yeah, goes to the Panthers or something. Then I'll draft him, but not on the Packers. All right, next up. So you got Josh Gordon at 5, Josh Hart at 4, Josh Jacobs at 2. Next up, Josh Giddey.
Three.
Oh, if you were gonna put him at
Three.
1,
I put him at 3 right now. You know.
I'll, not bad. See if not bad, and so that ends up with the number 1 spot automatically going to Josh Allen.
I knew there has to be better Joshes.
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, there has to be. Yeah.
So
Nah,
I think you got
honestly,
the 1 spot right. You got the 1 spot
I'm
right.
not. I'm not mad at that list. That list is pretty valid.
That's a good list. That is honestly a good list. So you got number 1, Josh Allen. Number 2, Josh Jacobs. Number 3, Josh Giddey. Number 4, Josh Hart. Number 5, Josh Gordon.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Pretty
love that
solid list. I would have put Josh Gordon probably at number 3.
Mm-hmm. Nah,
Just
I love
because
that
of
list.
just because of just nostalgia of him just being a monster and like
Mhm.
being like high and like smoking weed like pregame and just like
Yeah,
putting
he
up
was.
127 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Mhm.
What a monster.
Yeah, and I have one for you as well. With obviously
Oh,
NFL around the corner. We mentioned some of these guys before, but I was thinking about some of the better receivers in the league, and I was like, you know what? Let's see a blind ranking for
okay.
EJ
Let's
here with
go.
some NFL wide receivers. So 5 wide receivers,
Yep.
1 through 5, same rules apply.
Active?
Active,
Yeah.
active right now. So the first one's going to be CD Lamb.
Damn. So there might be one wide receiver better than CeeDee Lamb. And there's a lot.
Potentially. Potentially.
I'm gonna put I'm gonna go the safest, most square pick here. I'm going 3. Just put him right in the middle.
Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. Next receiver, I would say Puka.
Puka?
Yeah.
Puka Nakua? He's not better than CeeDee Lamb. He's not better than CeeDee Lamb, but is he worse than what else you have for me?
I got some good ones left.
So I'm gonna go Puka 5.
5. Okay.
Yes.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase, number 1. I gotta go number 1, Jamar Chase.
No,
the season he had last year, like record-setting, just an absolute monster. He's number 1. And I don't think that's an easy pick actually, but I think it's the right pick.
Yeah, I don't think anyone would get mad at you for picking Jamar Chase at 1.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a phenomenal year last year. We're down to 2.
2, yeah.
You got Jamar Chase 1, CD 3, and then our Puka was, did you say
5? Puka was 5.
5, okay. Drake London.
Dude, Drake London is awesome. And you know what? I'm actually pumped. Number 4. I'm actually pumped about that. Drake London at 4 because I think Drake London is better than Puka.
For sure.
He's better than Puka and he's worse than CeeDee Lamb, so 4 is a nice sweet home for him.
Yeah. And our last one, Jordan Addison, receiver.
Oh, Jesus. So honestly, okay, I'm not like Jordan Addison's. He's going into number 2, right? He asked that there's no place for him to go. I think Jordan Addison's whatever. It's not he's not good. I'm trying to spin zone it. I'm trying to spin zone this somehow, and
you might be able to get the argument with. I don't even know if you can argue with Drake London. No. Nah, I don't.
Yeah. So in my head I should have went CD 2, and then I could have done, and then I could have worked my way. But Jordan Addison number 2, yeah, whatever. I think Puka's better than Jordan Addison, but not by much. And I think Drake London's better than Jordan Addison, obviously. But the third, the CeeDee Lamb out the gates threw me for a loop. So
honestly, it's not aside from Jordan Addison. I think you got Chase at 1, which is, I mean, that's legit. You can't argue that one. You got CD at 3, who's better than Drake London and Puka. So essentially, it was just kind of just maybe just leaving the 5 spot open, and then it would have been a perfect list.
And there's only one person who would have went before CD There's two people I would have picked before CD: Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. But I think CD Lamb. I think CD Lamb is great. I should have just went 2. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's over with. I messed up. I decided to be
Not bad.
not bad. So this is, a Dabble podcast. This is not only a Dabble podcast, but this is the first ever episode of the first ever Dabble Fantasy podcast. And one of the best features on Dabble is the copy entry feature. You can copy anyone's entry. I like what JRAF puts up. I might copy it. I don't have to put in the work. I like what he does. He's been on a winning streak. I'm copying, and what a beautiful feature, Dabble.
Yeah.
So this podcast, copy that. That's the name of the podcast. We're talking about copies, and let's talk about the best copied entry of August so far, and that goes to the Real Kilo. The Real Kilo hit a 1,000x entry. That's 12.
Wow.
That's 12 pick entry. But listen to this. He had 27 copies. So 28 people in total hit a 1,000x entry.
Wow.
So they won as a community over $30,000 from the Real Kilo's pick. And it was all esports. It was the all esports entry. You know anything about esports?
Man, maybe a little bit. I'm just more upset that I didn't copy that.
That's what I'm saying.
Myself.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know anything about esports. But guess what? If the Real Kilo's out here hitting 12 leg or 12 pick entries, winning 1,000x, for the whole squad, I might have to give the Real Kilo a follow on Dabble. That's what I might have to do, because I think this is the most copies I've ever seen on a 1,000x entry on esports, especially. And then it hit legendary move by the Real Kilo, and that's the copy pick of the week.
Yeah,
Unreal.
He got my follow.
That's it.
That's
it. Go follow him. Go follow the Real Kilo. So that is a wrap on the first ever episode of Copy That Podcast. We'll be back. With more sports takes, more blind rankings, everything sports, culture related. We're going to be back. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you on Copy That episode 2. Peace.
See you guys.